So we've covered people like Chris Watts, ironically, Chris Greger, both terrible people, and they both have something in common. They abuse their family. We have Chris Watts to where he eliminated his family completely. And because, I don't want that family anymore. I want to start a new one, but I don't want to have the responsibilities of that family. You have Chris Greger, the same thing. He didn't want the responsibility of the son. He never wanted the son. He beat the son up. Son dies, We have a new character today. And this guy, you thought you saw it all with those two. This guy is insane. His name is Sean Lannon. I believe he was 47 years old at the time, so the man is never coming out of jail. The guy was just a regular guy. Nobody's on his resume that we know of. He went from that to being a full-blown serial killer. The story is, as old as time goes, man's wife doesn't love him no more. She gets herself a boyfriend. Now, I don't know if they're cheating or if they broke up and the man just was jealous, but listen, man gets divorced from his wife. She gets herself a boyfriend. Man loses his mind and kills everybody. This is a very similar story, but it takes a crazier turn because, there's also a serial killer aspect to this. The man takes out his wife, takes out her man, takes out 3 other people before getting caught. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead. We're going to break down this interrogation because it is crazy. And it's like, it's one of the craziest spirals I've seen in a long time, to where you don't even have much of a criminal past to 5 bodies, 5 people dead. So anyways, I'm not going to say too much about it. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. Happy New Year once again to all my people. Super crazy story. So get the popcorn. It's a long one. Shout out all the new subscribers, man. Let's get into this thing.
Hours of Friday morning, March the 5th, 2021. 2 police officers have been called out to the Albuquerque International Sunport to investigate an abandoned truck on the top floor of the airport's parking deck. It's not unusual for vehicles to be parked at the airport for a couple of days, even outside of the long-term parking areas. This one, though, stood out. Local 911 had received a call from airport security saying that on a sweep of the parking area, they found a vehicle and a horrendous smell was coming from it. The beat-up old Ford Ranger had a number of plastic tote boxes in its bed.
Yeah, that shit's terrifying. No, thank you. No fucking thank you. Horrible smell with plastic. Yeah, buddy. This is about to be one of them interviews, folks. I promise. At least that's what it seems like.
And more debris and another tote in the front seat. Something wasn't right.
Kind of smells. Kind of smells, but I mean, not to like decomposing or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was here yesterday as well, I believe.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. Yeah, there was once the same vehicle here yesterday.
Yeah. So maybe they left and came back then. It's how it's shown to the
So there's a pretty foul smell coming from the vehicle.
Yeah.
Every so often. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I can't really tell what it was. It didn't really sound like. I don't really think it smelled like decomp body or something like that, but I don't know. Yeah, I can smell something, but I can't really smell like decomp body.
Oh, he said it smells like maybe a decomp body. Y'all ever smell a dead body before?
Body or something like that, but I don't know. Yeah, I can smell something, but I can't really tell what it was. It also smells like dirty.
Yeah, it's just kind of odd and out of place.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
The officers had no way of knowing right then that they had just stumbled on evidence that would lock down 3 missing persons cases in a neighboring county and set off a horrific story that would span multiple states. Our story starts in Grants, New Mexico, about 80 miles or 130 kilometers west of Albuquerque. About a fifth of the population lives below the poverty line, including about a third of those under the age of 21, and it has a drug problem, like many struggling American towns. There's a lot of drugs and a lot of desert where someone can go missing. And in Grants, there were a number of people left living on what little bit.
That's the thing about LA too. Or that's the thing about California. Where are they at? Okay, New Mexico. That's what I thought. You got places like California, you got New Mexico, you got Arizona, you got, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get rid of a body, bro, you're pretty, listen, if you're able to get out the city, or maybe you just were never in the city, you're out in the middle of butt fucking nowhere, bro, you can hide some bodies, bro. I feel like those no man land areas, especially like you got Arizona, you got New Mexico, areas of California. If you just committed a crime in some little town somewhere, listen, bro. Listen. That new age technology shit could go out the window. Because ain't nothing but desert out there.
About 80 miles or 130 kilometers west of Albuquerque, about a fifth of the population lives below the poverty line, including about a third of those under the age of 21, and it has a drug problem, like many struggling American towns. There's a lot of drugs and a lot of desert where someone can go missing. And in Grants, there were a number of people left living on what little bit the government could hand them, trying to balance their needs for food, utilities, and drugs. It was in this environment that the Grants Police Department opened a missing persons report on Matthew Miller, a 21-year-old who had grown up in the town. His grandmother reported him missing after he never came back after leaving home on January the 24th. 5 days had passed before the missing persons report was made to the police. While the young man had a known problem with an opioid addiction, it was not like him to disappear for any length of time, especially without making arrangements for someone to care for his 2 cats. Just the year before, Matthew had lost both his father and grandfather, and even through his difficulties, he remained...
Yo, look at his eyes, big dog. He might be tweaking off the drugs right now. You see his eye? One pupil is big, one pupil is small. Man, rest in peace. Them opioids, boy. Them opioids, big dog. Them things don't play. They will fuck your life up. That's why I'm scared to take a Percocet or I think I've took Percocet once before. Luckily, I never got addicted off of the one Percocet. I tried Oxycontin before. I've tried, what else have I tried? I've tried a lot. I've tried a lot of pills, but they always made me feel like ass crack. Imagine if you really liked that shit. That's the scary part. Opioids are the devil, bro. Opiates, opioids, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Close with his grandmother. His girlfriend said that she had last seen him that evening headed in the direction of Albuquerque in his brown Chevrolet Colorado pickup truck. She had not heard from him since. That truck would be found at an apartment complex in Grants, but there would be no sign of Matthew, and no one could be found that had seen the young man dropping off the vehicle or hanging out in the area. The truck was brought in to be checked for evidence by the local crime lab. The location where Matthew's truck was found just happened to be a little over a block away from where they had received the report of another missing person. This time, the missing person was Jennifer Whitman Lannon, a 39-year-old mother of 3. Her ex-husband, Sean, had just reported her missing a few days before.
Her ex-husband looks like the culprit.
Her ex-husband, Sean, had...
Her ex-husband... Wait. Oh, shit. Maybe he is the killer. See, I don't know who this is. I'm just watching this with y'all. But, no, I'm pretty sure Sean looks like a drinker.
Just reported her missing a few days before. Originally from New Jersey, the couple had moved to New Mexico a few years before because of a job opportunity he had working with a solar energy company. Jennifer, at the time, had been a licensed nurse. The move had not worked out well for them. Sean, who had legal custody of the couple's children because of Jennifer's drug problems, had allowed her to move back in with the family during the pandemic shutdown.
He looks scary, bro.
Schools shut down, both he and she were out of work. It was a struggle to survive.
He looks pretty chill here, but it's just those eyes. I know you can't blame you can't do nothing about your damn eyes, but fuck, them eyes be spooky, dog. Crazy, spooky, hilarious. That's a spooky feller right there.
And the house was often without electricity or water. As a tenant, Sean also was months behind on rent, but he could not be evicted because of the laws put in place during the emergency. Jennifer, he told police, had...
Fun fact, I know a lot of people who are doing that shit. Coworkers, people I've talked to at work, man, nobody... Listen, the pandemic was scam central of the country. When I tell you that PPP loan, I'm talking, we not paying rent. We on disability. Motherfuckers be, pandemic was atrocious in some places. And my little dumbass was right there going to work while motherfuckers were over there playing the game, making money off of whatever the fuck. Yo, pandemic was crazy. Pandemic was crazy. But I do have to thank the pandemic because it made me realize that this whole YouTube shit was possible.
Stuck with drugs, and one day she got into a car with a man that she had been seeing named Justin Matta, and another man only known by his street name Suspect, and they took off to Arizona with a small bag of fentanyl pills.
What I tell you, Arizona's the place to go. Arizona is the place to go dump a dead body. Don't do it. I'm just saying. It's a lot of desert land. I wouldn't want to be missing out in Arizona.
In an effort to sell them to score a larger amount of drugs. Sean said that she never came back, would not return his calls or texts, and he was worried that something had happened to her. He did say that she had done this kind of thing before and had returned home after the money ran out. But considering how tough things were, she should have run out of money before that point. Local police resources went hard to work on the case, canvassing the neighborhoods of...
Chief said I was working too. I was working, brother. I worked the whole pandemic. Vacation where?
Both Miller and Lannon, checking with their associates, friends, and family members as well. Both individuals had a large network of friends both in and outside of the drug community. Both Matthew and Jennifer had just fallen off the map. In addition, Justin Matta's fiancée said that he had also been gone since the day that Jennifer had disappeared, reportedly January the 21st. He was just as gone as the other two. No one had seen him in the intervening days. Jennifer and Justin had obviously left together, but could they have been separated somewhere along the way? Or were they together somewhere on a drug bender that had not run its course yet? And what about Matthew? He hadn't disappeared until days afterward. There were some connections between Matthew and the other two based on their drug use, but could something or someone have gotten to them both? Law enforcement officers in the Grants area were left with just trying to track down any lead and going back to their original sources again to...
So keep in mind, everybody who just tapped in, there's 3 people missing right now by strange circumstances, and they all kind of could intertwine, but they're all disappearing around the same place and around the same time. For all of those who are popping in, this is some interrogation you guys are sending me. The shit is actually crazy. So let's actually try to watch this shit. And I already have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so we're not going to get no more interruptions. Again, I'm so sorry for the way my day's going right now.
See if there was anything else happening. There was a lot of hope that by shaking the tree, something or someone would fall out. Sean Lannon, who had been difficult to keep in touch with, had to be called back in.
Hello?
Hey, is this Sean?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Sean, this is Detective Turney. How are you doing?
Good, how are you doing today?
Good, man. I've been trying to get a hold of your other number, and it's not working. So,
No, I apologize. I'm sorry.
so you know anything new?
No, I haven't heard anything. Nope.
Okay. Are you still around town?
No, I'm in Albuquerque.
Okay. How's the kids doing?
The detective is keeping the call casual and friendly. This is to start to build a rapport with Sean and make it more probable that he would be willing to come in and talk to him. He doesn't want to make him feel like he is a suspect in fear he will flee, not show up, or show up with an attorney who would most certainly advise Sean not to speak to the detective. Sean is not legally required to come in or speak with the detective.
You're doing good. You're doing
And
good.
see, I know this. There's a situation with me, but I'm not going to bring it up because it's kind of... I'll bring it up in a year or two. I'll bring it up in a year. Remind me. But yeah, why the fuck would I go to the police? Why the fuck would I show up? I don't care if you're calling me buddy, Mr. Big Dick Johnson. You got all the bitches. Like, I'm not showing up. I don't care how much you tug my leg and make me feel like I'm comfortable. The only time I'm going to the police station, maybe that's just the only time I'm going to the police station is if I'm not involved. Maybe somebody's missing. Maybe somebody, listen, I'll snitch. Maybe somebody got shot or something. I'll tell you what's up. But if it's something to do with me, and I know it has something to do with me, my boy, I'm not showing up. My guy, why? No. I don't need an attorney to tell me that. What the fuck? I don't understand people who literally be doing murders and shit, and they're just coming in to the police station like, all right, bro.
Just yeah, upset looking.
It is suspicious that Sean has not been proactively reaching out and keeping in touch with the detectives, especially since he states his children have been asking about their mother and crying. Generally, a missing person's family reaches out to the detectives often to keep updated on the case and to see if any new information has been discovered. Families are often applying pressure as they want the person responsible to be found or their loved one to be located.
And you're living with,
Crying a little bit.
and you're living with D again, or still?
Yep.
Okay.
Anywhere on your own?
No, we've made some progress here and there. I've got a bunch of pictures of different vehicles. I'd like you to take a look at, see if you could help me identify them.
Good time tomorrow. I wanted to come in and I still have like stuff I got to return to the school.
Okay.
Or-
Tomorrow would be great. Just give me a heads up anytime.
You got it. All right, boss.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Apologize for the phone issue. I didn't.
We're good.
The other one was.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
The one left.
Almost at 45K, baby.
Alrighty. Apologize now.
All right. What? Any idea what time tomorrow?
In the afternoon, I got to get a ride. So.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Just make sure the kids are taken care of, and we'll go from there.
You got it.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
We'll
I
see
like this detective. He's cool. He could get a man to say something.
you tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks, man.
Sean had also run into trouble with the law, having missed a court date for an assault charge stemming from an incident back in November. Just a couple of days after that call, Sean had been picked up, arrested, and given a week in the county jail. He was more than available to undergo some questioning. A detective and an officer were dispatched to pick him up and bring him back in. It was now February the 25th. As the officer hooks up some items to recharge before the interview.
Damn, it's the new year. What did I tell y'all? I didn't even think Brody was the killer, but he's the killer. Don't worry about it. You look at that guy's eyes. I'm scared. What did I tell you earlier? That man scares me. That man scares me. I'm scared of him. I don't want, listen, if I see him in the corner store and he's walking around with those eyes and shit, I'm walking the fuck back out. Like, listen, I pick my fights. I know a man. I know the look of a man who don't got nothing to lose. You ain't got nothing to lose. I don't mean shit to you. Shit. Those eyes, man, them eyes are scary. This is a scary guy.
Note the bulletin board on the wall. You will see on the right side a missing persons poster for Matthew Miller. What might at first seem coincidental becomes a connection that can't be denied. Inside the interrogation room, Sean comes to know that there's a lot of new information, but so far the dots are not connecting up. Perhaps he can help, or perhaps with a bit of pressure, something more might be revealed.
This is about these missing people. You know that, okay? Everybody is a suspect, okay? Everybody. I deal with suspects, witnesses, and victims. Everybody is a suspect.
Everybody is a suspect. I'd like my lawyer, please. Am I free to go? Can I get a coffee on the way out? Maybe we could talk while I'm getting my coffee. Hold on. Let me pour out my coffee. What? Oh, everybody's a suspect? Oh, you see me? Okay, cool. I'll hit my lawyer up. His name is Mr. Willoughby. I'll see y'all later. That's the end of this. I don't know what the fuck bro is doing.
Okay? And it is my job to take the suspects one at a time and rule them out.
Sounds
good. And I can't rule one out. I can't move on to the next one. I can only deal with one at a time. Okay? You are our suspect that I want.
You're our suspect. Red flag number 2. Get out of there. But do you notice how only the guilty people stay? I used to love watching the show. Everybody watched that shit. I'm pretty sure everybody knows Dateline, NBC, To Catch a Predator, right? Why do they always stay? Isn't that the question we all asked? Like, bro, get up out of there. Remember the guy who was eating pizza and just sitting there red-handed? I'm screaming, get up out of there, bro. What the fuck are you doing? You want to have a conversation with a possible father? This could be the girl's father. He might be getting ready to kill you. Get up out of there. But no, they want to stay and they want to talk and they want to explain and they want to... Guilty people, I'm not saying it's outright, but it seems like guilty people stay and talk. You know, you get past 5 minutes of an interview and they're not out of there after you're accusing them of some shit, they're usually guilty.
To try and rule out. Okay?
The detective sits right in front of Sean to be able to observe his body language and to invade his personal space if he wants to apply more pressure during the interrogation. The detective begins the interrogation by saying everyone is suspect and they just had to rule him out. This is done to put Sean at ease and not feel like he is the target, which is definitely not the case. The detectives are legally allowed to use deceptive tactics and even lie to suspects during interrogation. You will notice the room is bare with nothing on the walls or tables to avoid any distraction.
The things that you've told us, okay, I've completely ruled each one of them as just an outright lie. Okay? Because of the facts. I have surveillance all over this town.
Okay, cool.
Okay? I have surveillance all over this town.
Here, the detective begins what is called the persuasion process. He begins with a statement of involvement and letting Sean know that his previous statements are lies and indicates that this is backed up by surveillance cameras. This may or may not be the case.
Thank you, Melly, for the two.
Sean, step one.
Right.
Okay, step one is to tell me where the bodies are. Step two, okay, is to tell me some kind of reasonable story of the truth.
Okay.
Okay?
And why is it? Oh, never mind.
So he's just outright confronting him. There's no going around it, playing around this, that, and the other. He's just going straight for it. And I find it funny that Sean is just like, okay, no, I'll listen. Okay, go. Where are the bodies at? I don't know where the bodies are. He is guilty as fuck.
Step two, okay, is to tell me some kind of reasonable story
of the truth.
Okay.
Okay?
And why is it? Oh, never mind.
Those are the steps.
Yep.
Okay, we all make mistakes. Okay?
Sean is
And we all
leaning in, though.
freak out.
Sean's body language is very awkward and unnatural, indicating that he is nervous. He touches his face, which is a sign of stress. Also, notice he waves his right hand in a dismissive manner after almost every statement made by the detective. Repetitive motions like this are a way for suspects to relieve stress and are usually subconsciously done. This is often seen when someone is lying. You also often see suspects look down to avoid eye contact, which you can see Sean doing as well. Notice the detective leans towards Sean, places his paper to the side to invade his personal space and to assert authority over him and apply more pressure. This is called the interrogation posture. He is giving him undivided attention and sitting very close to him. Here, the detective moves on to a technique called theme development. The interrogator proposes to the suspect reasons and motives that will serve to psychologically justify or excuse the suspect criminal's behavior and try to downplay and normalize what had occurred. Here, he does this by suggesting a mistake occurred and states that we all fuck up and make mistakes. The theme is developed as to why the suspect committed the act, not if he committed the act, and tries to downplay the seriousness of the situation with the words he uses.
Okay.
You know, they say don't fix what isn't broken, and I guess that's what they're doing. Because I swear to God, every interrogation you see, it's the same copy and paste method. The only thing that changes is the person's response to it. But these cops have been doing the same shit for decades, bro. It's the same shit. And I mean, if you're smart enough, you would know not to engage with this shit. But I guess he's not a crime buff, you know what I'm saying? He don't be watching Law and Crime and shit.
I don't think you're a killer. I don't think you're capable of purposely, deliberately killing somebody. I think you're a reasonable person. I think it was some kind of self-defense and or an accident. And you flipped out as anybody would and went and dumped their bodies because you didn't want to lose your kids.
The detective actually believes Sean is a killer and, in fact, capable of murder, yet tells him that he doesn't in order to set up the next step of the Reed technique, which is to present an alternative scenario suggesting self-defense or an accident to see if Sean will latch on to one of these themes and get him to confess. The detective doesn't care if he uses one of these justifications. He just wants to make it easier for him to start to confess and move closer to the truth and his involvement. He tries to give Sean a more acceptable rationale for committing these murders by using the excuse of not wanting him to lose his kids as a motive for dumping the bodies. He takes a very empathetic, non-judgmental tone with Sean, despite knowing that this is a gruesome and indefensible crime. Note that Sean still has not made a single denial or protest about his innocence.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You gotta listen. I would be out there saying, bro, well, first of all, this interview would be over. I'd be like, first of all, fuck you for thinking that I did this. And second of all, you can hear from my lawyer. What are we talking about?
What is it how and when I told you what I knew. That's what I feel like gave you an honest answer. What is it that would cause you to think otherwise, that it wasn't true? What is it that you think that I lied about?
I know you're the last one who drove Matthew Miller's truck.
And again, people who are guilty, they want to know what you know. You can't just start talking because we need to know how we're going to craft the story. We need to know everything that you know. So we can't just say, no, I was over here drinking a beer with so-and-so and that's bullshit and my wife does this all the time. No, I got to hear what you actually know so far. Do you know I was down the road over there? Let's find out. Let's hear it.
Okay.
I know you parked it where we found it.
Yep.
That's all a lie. You lied to me about that.
What do you mean? That's where I put it. I told you where it was. It was there with us to saw it. I told you in here. I told you I drove the truck.
You told me you drove the truck a few weeks prior and you went to Smith's and Walmart to get food and then you went back and drove and parked it at Kingman.
At McDonald's. Yeah. That's
what
it. That's the last time I drove it. And the kids were with me the whole time. That's it.
Okay. Every time, so there's surveillance video across the street from 817 Kingman. Incredible surveillance video.
Yeah.
We got everybody coming or going from that house. Everything that happens. Every vehicle that shows up. Right?
Yeah.
Every person.
Sean's tone is extremely strange and should be noted. He is very calm and relaxed for someone who has just been accused of murder.
Exactly.
Here, he is trying to get out of the detective what evidence he has. This is to decide what to admit and how to frame whatever story he may want to put forward to fit with the evidence. Sean gets nervous when the detective begins to tell him about the incredible surveillance video he has. Sean appears nervous and takes a sip of water. Often people get dry mouth when they are nervous, and he may also be doing this to stall for time to think about how to explain what the detective may or may not have seen.
Every time Matthew goes there, he parks in front. When you're driving the truck, you back it in.
Okay.
Okay?
He started backing in because he wanted to pull that organ. That's
He wanted to do what?
He wanted to load up that organ to sell it. The one that was, the picture's like in front of the house. think musical organ. I wasn't physically strong enough because I'm still recovering from the sickness. But, yep, pick it up. He wanted to take that to Poland or somewhere and get money for it. So I was like, I'm not doing it, so I let him use my food card. So,
Okay.
I picked up supplies, and that's it.
Where's Matthew and where's Jennifer and where's Justin?
I don't have that answer for you. So, I'm not part of whatever.
Should he even know who Justin is? You know what I'm saying? I thought it was only his ex-wife that he thought was gone missing. You know what I'm saying? Again, you should be asking, who the fuck are those people? I came here to know about my wife. What's going on? My kids are sad about it.
Disappearance they're on. That's not my thing. So.
Sean finally makes his first denial of not being part of the disappearance, but again, keeps very calm and a very casual demeanor. His denial is rather weak, and it does not match the gravity of the accusations. He begins nervously rambling about insignificant details that is often seen when someone is lying.
Matthew owed me $80 worth of something. I needed water. I needed a vehicle periodically. He drove me a few times. I didn't even know he didn't have water until he said something about his grandmother. He got water from his grandmother one day. I was like, what was that?
So now we have a connection laid out between Sean, Jennifer, and Matthew, one that Sean hadn't been forthcoming about earlier. But was this connection one that actually strung together their disappearances?
And Jennifer and Justin ran off together.
Yeah.
And they got into this white car.
A white something, a 300 or something?
Yeah, there's no white car that ever goes to 817 Kingman.
Yes. There's a 87. There's a white 300 there.
Why would she take off and not take her phone?
She had a new phone. He gave her a brand new phone. When she left, she had a white iPhone, like a nice one. Like a really nice phone. Yeah.
Oh, he killed the shit out of her and him. So she killed her, he killed the boyfriend, and he killed the guy who was like transporting them. That shit's fucked up. Hold on.
Why would she not take her other phone?
Because it's a piece of trash.
Why would she not call anybody?
You're not going to take your phone to get your contacts. You're not going to save all your information. You're just going to leave it there with your ex-husband. That makes sense.
Why would his phone not be on and working? Why would
they weren't together?
At all?
We weren't together. Like, she physically was leaving with Justin. Like, okay, I couldn't afford the shit.
Why would she take her makeup?
She did take makeup. She took a whole bag. Yeah.
The big flower bag? Like the suitcase?
No, she had a backpack.
Backpack.
A backpack. A nice one. Female. Yeah. She's always prepared. So.
Sean, I think you guys got into a fight. I think it was just self-defense. Justin came at you, something weird happened, and you were just protecting yourself and the kids. That's what I think happened. And somehow they died.
The detective now gives a brief monologue to propose to the suspect reasons and motives. The general rule while doing this is to attempt to place the blame for what the suspect did on some other person or set of circumstances other than the suspect himself. Here he suggests that Justin was the aggressor and suggests that he was just defending himself.
No. Sorry. No.
Bro, all he does is sit there and wait for somebody to say something else. He doesn't give any pushback. He just takes it. Even if you're guilty, I would expect you to do something. Give like, no, I wouldn't do that. Why are you blaming me? What made you think that about me? This is bullshit. I need a lawyer. Nope. No. Just nope. It's not that's not me. That's not what I would do. No. Like that, it doesn't make sense, bro. Like, fight for yourself. Something.
I get to go. I literally have no transportation. I barely fit this shit in the storage. Like if you're lucky to walk to the store, like, not that I went out, but I walked to freaking Family Dollar to get water.
She wouldn't have left her kids like that, man.
I mean, she's done it half a dozen times. We've been divorced for 2 years. She's a third of Grant's, like, whatever. Yeah.
Which is more of a reason for you to be very upset with her.
I was just disappointed, you know. I can't change her, but I couldn't make her honest. Like, that's my mom's and her mom's thing. You should have kicked her out, forced her out. Like, it's one thing to cripple somebody enough to not have anywhere to live, you know.
Sean gives a very weak denial. Sean reveals what may have been his motive to kill Jennifer by saying that she was sleeping around with a third of the town. Justin, being her new boyfriend, may have been killed out of jealousy or fear that he would report her missing.
I think he said she was screwing the whole town to make the cop feel like like I don't care. Like I don't agree with that. I think he wanted the cop to feel like he didn't care about her. Like, oh yeah, she's fucking the whole town anyway. Justin's just another one of her boyfriends. Like, I guess she just was ready to leave. It's whatever. You know, that's what he's trying to make it seem like. But you could pull that, honestly. You could run that type of play, if you want to call it that. But the problem is you're not convincing enough. It's almost like it's not what's said, it's how you say it. You know what I mean? It's how you say it, bro. You got your little styrofoam cup, your wrinkled ass plaid shirt that you pulled out of the fucking jumbled up pile because you know why? Your wife wasn't there to iron and clean no clothes for you, so shit's fucked up right now. You came out here looking sad and timid. And that's not the way you want to do this. Like, if you're going to do a police interview, you're there with your lawyer and you're there confidently. You're not saying like, oh, well, she was fucking the whole town. And, you know, so I guess like, bro, no, she was fucking the whole town. I don't give a fuck about that bitch. I don't know why you're boom, 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 boom. That's going to be more convincing. I'm telling you, this shit, you did it, bro. You did it. You should have subscribed to Law and Crime and watched a few trials to prep yourself for something.
Okay, that was the day you came in here and we got Jennifer entered missing.
And keep in mind, there's a man behind them as well. So he's looking at this cop in front of him, but that energy from this man behind them is radiating. I just realized there's a man behind them right here. So there's two guys, one just dead behind them, breathing on his neck. You got to lean forward and be a man, bro. You're over here like, no, she's screwing the whole town. Not believable, brother.
Yeah. Before you came here, you went to Kelly DeSoto's house.
I did.
And you took a bag in the house and had a gun.
Yep.
And Jennifer's IDs. Why would you do that? You're admitting that you did that?
I had a bag at the house, yeah.
On your way here, you stopped at Kelly's.
I stopped at Kelly's.
Right?
Yep. Talked to Kelly for a few minutes. And then I left.
You took a bag in her house and hid the bag.
I didn't hide the bag. It was on the kitchen table. That's it. It was my other bag, my laptop and everything.
And there was a gun in the bag.
There was Justin's gun, which was Tommy Archuleta's gun. The son.
It was Justin's gun.
Yeah, it's Justin's gun. He got it from Tommy Archuleta.
Okay. What else was in the bag?
Speak up, sir.
Pocket knives. Kelly gave me a pocket knife. One of them was Justin's gun. Had like a weird green, like a tip, like you almost like breaking one of it.
So nothing but weapons are in this bag. Okay, that helps.
And a utility knife arm.
And Jennifer's IDs.
And Jennifer's IDs. Yeah, that's.
That's some of her IDs. I have all of her other stuff at the house. She has more IDs.
And so, when you got done talking here, you left. You went back to Kelly's house to get that bag.
No, I wanted my friggin' phone. I said, where's my phone at? Like, I don't have my phone. It wasn't in Dee's car. I never got the phone.
What phone? What are you talking about?
I had a phone, and I was like, where's my phone at? Where's my phone at?
Why would it be at Kelly's house?
Because the last place I had it, I thought I had it, was at Kelly. She bolted out.
That doesn't make sense, Sean.
Ask her. She literally bolted out.
No, you took the bag with the gun and Jennifer's IDs.
I took the bags like everywhere I go, and she kept the gun. Like the dog took it. I guess that's what apparently what it was. But yeah.
So you planning on getting the bag back?
I went to go pick up the laptop bag. I didn't realize the other one. I was like, oh, shit. And then the pistol and the three knives are gone.
Three what?
Three pocket knives.
Oh. Yeah. And you didn't try to get that back?
I said, where's the stuff that's in the bag? And Doug was like, this is what you're gonna get. And I was like, I was trying to fight with him because he a little bit on the scary side. He has that pistol. Tell me, so
what happened to Jennifer's IDs and stuff?
I still have them. Yeah.
You got them back from Kelly's house?
They were in the bag. They were in the bag.
In the laptop
So they
bag.
gave him back the bag.
They were in the bag.
They gave him the IDs back. This story doesn't make any sense. So they gave him back the pocket knives, and they gave her IDs back. What?
The only thing I didn't get was the three little knives.
Oh, he didn't get the knives.
Like blades like this big, maybe.
Why didn't you tell me this?
With the, I didn't know I wasn't getting the stuff back until I didn't realize the other bag was there. I left the laptop bag by accident because I wanted to download the casino forms for her. She wanted to cash out. I wanted to cash out. My printer was in storage. She's like, I don't have the printer. I was like, all right, I'll be back. Drop everything, run, come back. I'm like, where's my phone at? Like, no phone. I'm like, where's my shit at? Like,
What phone are you talking about?
we had like an Android phone, another one.
What was the number to it? I pulled all of the phone records,
Okay.
Sean,
Yeah.
from your 99
The other one.
and the one you claim was Jennifer's,
Right.
and Dee's, because you were using Dee's phone to text Kelly after you left, because you destroyed Jennifer's phone. You smashed it on the porch.
Sean has just been hit with a big problem. Explaining away the gun would be difficult. But did it have anything to do with the disappearances? Right now, it looked suspicious, but it could also just be a man getting rid of some difficult-to-explain items before going in for a short-term incarceration. Sean does not like the insinuation that he was trying to get rid of evidence, possibly evidence of a murder. He's not taking the bait laid out for him here.
I just want to give you this chance. You know, we're eventually going to figure out exactly what happened. We're eventually going to find them all.
And that's a good thing.
I think that they're deceased, don't you?
I think she's going to pop up with when she wants money. That's always her
It's
MO.
been a month, man.
She's disappeared for more than a month before.
Hasn't called her mom. Hasn't had contact with any
Her
cop
mom knows now
anywhere
that she's
in
on
the
the
United
shit.
States.
As soon as she
Neither
fucking
has
realized.
Justin. Neither has Matthew. Matthew wouldn't have left 2 days without taking care of his cats. You're the last one in his car.
Okay. I see your point.
How did you...
It doesn't change the fact that I used his card because he took $80 off my food card. His girl was there. I literally drove to get freaking water, groceries, like supply. Like,
And you expect me to believe that you borrowed his car. He's okay with that. And he wants you and Justin. You want me to believe that Justin and Matthew, okay, told you to go park it a block away from your house.
they were leaving again together. I said,
Why
"All
wouldn't they
right."
just park it at your house then?
I tell them not to park in front of my shit all the time. There's too much
You're
drug
the
traffic
one
because
who
of
backed
JD.
it in there.
But I'm not doing anything sketchy.
At least he's kind of fighting back at this point, but it doesn't make any sense.
Trying to take trash or pick up groceries. There's nothing sketchy. I don't have to worry about. These people go in and out on the main strip, park for a minute because of bullshit.
Okay.
That's shady. Parking in the driveway is normal. Like, load up, like do something. Groceries, something.
Okay, your fingerprints and your DNA are going to be in the truck.
Obviously. Yeah. And the kids are in there too.
Right? Okay.
The detective offers him a chance to confess, making it seem like it's in his best interest and that they will figure it out either way. While this is true, a confession is always extremely useful in prosecuting a case. Again, Sean asks what evidence the detectives took to see what they may know or have found. Police have laid the information out there, but Sean has been able to at least answer enough to blur, if not erase, any lines that connect him to the disappearances. Sean would be released from jail with another court date in the future. He'd return to Albuquerque to gather up his kids. He made arrangements to take his kids back to New Jersey to stay with family while Sean came back to deal with his legal issues and to keep up with the investigation into Jennifer's disappearance. One day, Sean will take off with the kids from Albuquerque International Sunport, and just a couple of days later, that beat-up red Ford Ranger would be found abandoned in the parking deck, its bed filled with large plastic totes, smelling disturbingly foul. The truck was registered to Randall Apostolone, a person who seemingly had no link to Sean, but the contents certainly did. The officers would call in an evidence team, and the bins would be removed from the truck and opened. Within were the dismembered bodies of Jennifer Lannon, Justin Mata, and Matthew Miller. In the front seat, under a tarp and covered with
he must have shot all of them, and then this. How did he even do that? And it's like, that means he was sitting on the dismembered bodies for a while. Right? That means he was holding on to them for a while, bro. What the... Man, see, I couldn't bring myself to do that shit. That shit is next level right there. I don't know how mad you gotta be. And it's like, okay, you killed them. Now you're gonna cut them up and put them into bins and go on a road trip? That shit... Listen, I ain't got that in me. That's a different type of level right there.
Another tote and debris would be the corpse of Randall Apostolone. A small sledgehammer would be found under his body. The weapon had been used to murder the man. Autopsy reports on the three bodies in the totes would show that they had died quite some time ago, almost a month and a half before.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. He was sitting on these bodies for the longest, trying to figure out what the fuck to do with them. That's crazy. And then ever since this whole story, the disappearance case happened, they're going to be monitoring you all the time. So you can't just take your nice old truck and go out into the desert and come back home. That's never going to work out. Shit, half of these cars have like GPS and shit.
Discovery. They had...
Well, this is an old truck, so this probably didn't have GPS, but...
each been shot, Jennifer at point-blank range, and that Matthew's body showed signs of severe blunt force trauma. While all this was going on, far off in East Greenwich, New Jersey, on March the 8th, someone broke into the home of Michael Debkowski and brutally beat him to death with a hammer. Debkowski, age 66, was a retired chemical engineer with a long history of community involvement. Decades before, he had served as a mentor in the Big Brothers Big Sisters local organization for a young Sean Lannon and his twin brother. Thousands of miles separated the crime scenes, and decades separated the men involved. But there was no doubt in the investigators' minds that Sean Lannon was
Look at them, they have the pizza on the plate and shit. You already know you're going to jail if they set out the pizza. To go back to Catch a Predator, they have the good old-fashioned pizza. I'm going to jail. I'm not even hungry no more. That looks like a feast in here compared to all these dry gray walls. Like, no, I need a lawyer. Yeah, he's
more than just a suspect now. He was a multiple murderer. He was mobile and could very well be heading back to New Mexico to tie up some more loose ends. A nationwide manhunt was called, and resources from beat cops to interstate license plate readers were brought to bear. A fugitive capture task force was assembled from local resources of the St. Louis Metro Police Department and the U.S. Marshals Service. In the early hours of the morning, they convened on the area. They observed someone inside Debkowski's car, and 18 officers surrounded it, with one of the deputy marshals breaching the window. They pulled Sean Lannon from the car. Sean surrendered peacefully, but he did have a knife on him. Nearby in the vehicle was a hammer, the one used in the New Jersey murder, and a hatchet. There was $625 in loose bills, a sizable coin collection stolen from Debkowski's home, and a tote filled with other miscellaneous items. Sean would be hauled in to the police station, and detectives from New Jersey and New Mexico would board planes headed to the Midwest state to question the man. There was no more room for stories from Sean Lannon, and he knew it.
Not the sandwich on the table. So he went out and killed somebody else. This guy was out of control. What was the next move? Go to Mexico? That was probably the move right there. Shit, he had like $600, fuck, it ain't much, but we could go somewhere with it.
There was no more room for stories from Sean Lannon, and he knew it. Now, he could only tell what had actually happened and try to couch his explanation in such a way to paint himself as something that wasn't quite a murdering monster.
Can we get you anything? I know there's places to bring food, right? We're bringing you some McDonald's soon when it gets here.
Damn, they're bringing the McDonald's, bro. That's so sad. My heart would just sink into my balls, bro. We're bringing you McDonald's. Fuck. Not the Big Mac, bro. Is it a McChicken? Fuck. The better the meal, the worse your sentence is about to be. This is the interrogation Wade wanted for sure. He wanted that McDonald's so bad.
Kind of coming.
He offed like 4 people for what though? No, I think all this stemmed from his ex-wife. And listen, an ex-wife will do that to a man. It all would make sense to me if this is all because of his ex-wife. It would all make sense because people be really crashing out over their ex-wife, over their ex-girl. Man, listen, crashing the fuck out. But let's hear the explanation. So it's her, the boyfriend, the friend, and then some old dude. That's 4. Man, he was going crazy.
Road here. I just want to kind of talk to you about some things that happened in New Mexico in general, but Albuquerque after the fact. Wherever you're ready
after
came
the
out.
fact.
I mean, I know you just kind of tell me how you got into New Mexico and how some of this went down.
The detective starts the interrogation in an interview style and simply asks Sean to give his side of the story. Since Sean has been caught with weapons and a dead man's car, they know he won't be able to deny any involvement.
I got a job assignment in Mexico 4 years ago. For the kids, nanny. The nanny was Diana.
At least he didn't kill the kids.
Sometime later, Jennifer comes. Jennifer never got along. So at some point, Diana took a job with corrections and did that. And Jen stayed at the house. Failed out of rehab a couple times. Pretty much always had nanny off and on, covered on the kids. I worked a lot. Recently I lost my job. After I got sick. Apparently had endocarditis. An infection in my heart.
That's so sad, bro. That endocarditis, that's so sad. I feel so terrible for you. I hope you get that endocarditis fixed.
Punctured lung at some point. I never knew it. Maybe that was the source.
So terrible. How did it feel when you killed those 4 people? That's my question. That's my next question. Let's not talk about the endocarditis. Let's talk about how it felt when you just when you sunk the knife. How did that feel, bro?
Lost my job, came back. I wish I'd learned to walk again.
Sean brings up multiple hardships in his life, likely to garner some sympathy from the detectives, which is a very common MO for narcissists and sociopaths.
Unemployment, pretty much getting evicted and leaving the house. Plan was to get to New Jersey, get the kids back safe. So, one day I took a walk at Walmart, put some dollar stroller, and to get groceries. Pretty good walk from where I lived on Kingman Avenue to Walmart. A half hour into the walk, I realized I didn't have my food cart. So I turned around, came back, went in the front door, went down the hallway to get my food cart on my dresser. I noticed it was quiet. I hear the kids open the door, a gentleman just around there. I knew we were divorced, whatever, but so fucking ignorant. So I was like, idiots. The kids grabbed my card. Justin said that they were with his girlfriend. I'm like, God, you idiot. Your girlfriend, your wife's got my kids, so you got your girlfriend. So call the kids, nothing. Open the door, cross your mind. It's pile of blankets. Behind the blankets are the kids. Pick up. Very much like right on top of them. No response. Pick up. I'm not breathing. Doesn't seem like she's breathing, so I'm flipping out. I put her against me. I could feel her. She's got shallow breaths. She's tall with us. So I'm screaming at the two of them. Like, what the fuck she do to the kids? My arm. I got no pulse. No respirations. I'm flipping out like, what the fuck you do? Justin's putting on his clothes. Comes in like, done this 100 times. Like, they're fine. I'm like, they're not fine. They're not breathing.
Sean claims he walked in on Jennifer having sex with
he's saying the kids' names. That's why it's blanked out.
Justin may be what triggered him to kill her and later Justin. Sean then begins to tell a story about how he thought his kids were dead and not breathing, which may have truth to it or may be completely fabricated. However, a father who found his children like this would have called 911. And the way he tells it, it is likely not true and just more justification.
What do you do? Because when they drugged them something in their medicine, Jen didn't think I was being serious.
Oh, so he's telling the whole story from beginning to end. He's telling the whole truth right now, the whole lie. But he's really giving it out to him. That's why he's so timid and shit. I thought we were just starting from when they caught him. No, he's going way from the beginning.
She comes in, looks at me. She grabs Shawn Michael. She got on pulse. She's not breathing on pulse. I'm like, I know. I check Shawn. She's their pulse. She starts saying that she killed the Garrison baby. That's it. We conceived Shawn at Garrison Lake. It was our baby. Justin ran out the room, out the house immediately. At this point, we're just crying and holding the kids. Jen's adamant she's gonna overdose on the heroin. She kisses the kids on the forehead, all three of them.
And she dies from heroin.
I'll see you in a minute. She goes to do all of her shit. I put her on the couch in the living room. Positioned the couch at the door so that when the nanny got there in a couple hours, she could, so she opened the door, I would hit the couch and she'd have, she had blankets and pillows on her. I went back to the room. They said they also blew heroin smoke in their faces, so they didn't know if Narcan would work. We looked around the garage and I found one. Narcan's a single layer applicator. There's 2 kids. So I pretty much jerry-rigged something in about less than a minute. Took 2 sports cup straws, some duct tape, put them together, put them over the applicator, rolled their faces, bodies together there and I put in each one.
Bullshit. He's talking like he's the hero. This guy is Superman over here. He just killed her because, she was collateral, but this is Superman. He saved the 2 kids. He created a nozzle to connect to 2 children because there's only one Narcan, just the one Narcan, and I was able to save both of them. And then I raged out. That's bullshit. If that's what I'm hearing them say, come on, bro. They're overdosing and you jerry-rigged together a splitter? You just got a split. You had some PVC pipe close by and you just made a splitter real quick for 2 kids. You had some hose and some tie straps and you just jerry-rigged it together.
Fired it off. Nothing happened. They assume I've done it for other people. It was immediate. They'd always pop up.
Sean begins telling a story about trying to give his kids Narcan to revive them from the heroin Jennifer and Justin allegedly blew on the kids. He speaks in a very monotone, unemotional voice throughout, even when talking about his children being unresponsive. This may be because it is untrue, or could be a function of his clear personality disorder.
Kissed him on the head. I told him I'd see him in a minute. I went to the bedroom. Jen was already out with the heroin.
Yeah, she was out already. Remember, she was like, I'm about to overdose. This is the most elaborate story I've ever heard in my life. I'm finally putting it all together. So he walks in. The kids are unresponsive because they're blowing heroin smoke in their face. They thought it would be funny. He goes. He finds the Narcan. I'm going to finish the story for him, too, because I know where this is going. He finds the Narcan. He MacGyvers a splitter like an inhaler. He even gets some oxygen to get a little extra pump in there. You know what I'm saying? And he on 2 kids with 1 Narcan. What a fucking awesome guy. What a guy. What a fucking Chad. Okay? And they don't come back. Not immediately. Hold on. There's more to this story, though. So he goes over to his wife who said, oh, I'm about to overdose. So she's over there overdosing, and he just goes and kills her, right? And by the time that's over, the kids wake up. Oh, my God, the kids are alive. Yay. And I didn't know what to do, so I just hid the bodies. That's the most bullshit fucking story. Damn, bro. Honestly, good job on creativity, to be real with you. Because that is some creative ass storytelling. But I'll tell you one thing. It'll never be true. Come on now. You made a split. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest lie. He made a splitter for the Narcan. You know how the little nozzle go? What did you MacGyver? Did you get balloons? What'd you get? PVC? What'd you... Come on, brother.
Wasn't enough to take her life. So...
Oh, no. She just overdosed. So she just went peacefully with a beautiful high of heroin, apparently.
Make sure she went too, for sure.
So I shot her.
She really should breathe in. She wasn't going to OD. I went in the other room, psyched myself up, repeating that kind of emotionally charged statement of, you killed the baby. So I had enough. Whatever to do it. I put the pistol behind her head, and I pulled the trigger.
How long between the time that you had to...
That's not funny. It's just the way he said it. Bro, you're so full of fucking shit. So you just relieved her from her overdose. You know, you just relieved her. She was overdosing. She would have had no kids left. They were dead. I just had to kill her, and I was just going to end myself, and it was just all going to be... We were just all going to see each other in the upper room. Bro, I mean... Get a public defender, bro. You can't afford a lawyer. Get somebody.
Did you shoot Jennifer? Did you shoot Justin?
It was at least a week. Took a while.
How did you get him to come over?
Wait, let me back up. He said, how long did it take from when you killed her to kill Justin? Let's go.
Trigger.
How long between the time that you shoot Jennifer? Did you shoot Justin?
It was at least a week. Took a while.
How did you get him to come over?
I was baiting as if I was Jennifer on the phone.
So you thought you was to meet Jennifer?
Yeah.
That I believe. He killed Jennifer. I don't know what he did with the kids, but the kids were doing something. He killed her. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to kill that little bitch too. So he looked at her messages. He just, made a message that sounded like her. He knows her. It's his woman. It's his wife. And then he got him to come over, and then he killed him too. That I believe.
Sean claims Jennifer tried to kill herself by an OD and that he shot her, making it seem less like a monstrous act. He then reveals he killed Justin a week or so later by luring him to his house. This is legally important because his defense of heat-of-the-moment murder, which is second-degree murder, has to be close in time to the triggering event, i.e. having seen them having sex or the kids being unresponsive. His admission that he lured Justin to his house sets him up for a premeditation murder, which is the most serious charge of murder in the first degree.
Damn.
Finally, that kid comes over way up.
Yeah, no shit. Premeditated murder. What could you do worse? Right? Your little sad story, your little head down, your little, ooh, I was so distraught and I killed him. That gave you the most years, brother. Gave you the most years, brother.
Or Matthew, whatever the fuck his name is. Comes over with
He's
Felicity.
meandering.
She looked like she was like 12
Word
years
of
old.
the day. That's his whole being.
And I shouldn't hurt anyone, they don't have to. So he's like, they're looking for money for anything. And I'm like, I'll give you a food card. I was like, just take like $40. You know? And I was like, all I need is later in the week, give me a ride to get some water. I'm having electric and no water. So one of those times he came back, he didn't have Felicity. And that's when I shot him in the back of the head. I shot him in the garage. So he was walking. He was in front of me. He was looking at some of the fine china. He wanted to hawk it or something. Heading back in towards the house.
Next, Sean discusses Matt coming over with his girlfriend, who he claims looks 12 years old, once again trying to possibly justify his actions to a degree or make Matt look bad.
Kids were in the far back bedroom when the door was locked anyway. We took us a barricade, just with all the moving stuff so that they couldn't come out. He didn't know it was coming. Put it up to the back of his head, pulled the trigger. It's disgusting. Again, fell right there on the...
It was disgusting. He had to tell us how it was. It was disgusting. We didn't need to know how. All right, bro. It was disgusting. Cool.
Floor. I stepped over, walked, checked the kids. Took me like another day or two to figure out how to put him in something.
Sean admits to shooting Matt in the back of the head and doing it while his kids were inside the house. This shows the shooting was unprovoked and also shows his complete lack of concern for the children's well-being.
It's pretty fucking disgusting. Finally got all three of the bodies outside the house, in the yard. Let's take them out the back. Make the slider door around the back side. And put them underneath this tree, and I put like the grill and all that stuff, blockading them in. Because we still lived in the house, cleaned up what I could. All the while, the landlord was in and out, constantly checking the house. And the variable. And then, as I pack up the stuff, I'd take stuff to use one of my friend's trucks, take it to storage. The kids in the front seats with me.
The landlord had no idea that he could have been the next murder. He had no idea. Coming through, checking the house. If you saw the wrong thing, guess what? Boop! At the back of the head. Now we just have 5 bodies. It ain't too crazy. I mean, how much does he have? 3 at this point or something? Now we just have 4. It's nothing too wild. You know what I'm saying? If the number goes up by 1 or 2 for this guy, it's not that big a deal.
And then pick up at the storage containers. Took them, not those storage containers, they were outside the house. The actual stuff. Took them to storage until the house was pretty much empty. At some point he brought me the boxes and put them in the back. I couldn't come up with enough money for the vehicle, so he was going to take the truck back, so I found through us for the boxes to be the storage containers. I was going to hold them for $150. He wanted another $300 once we got to his place. I don't have another $300.
The other guy or Miguel?
No, Randy wanted another $300 to hold the boxes.
Alright.
So I didn't have $300. So he's like, well, I'm gonna drop you back off. So we left the place, came back to the Pearl. The box was still in the back. Pulled in right there. We got in a fight. I killed him in the front seat. He was in the driver's seat. I hit him 2 or 3 times with my hands. I flipped the key to the off position. And I proceeded to daytime, the same day I got picked up. No one happened to see anything.
Sean claims that Randy tried to ask him for an extra $300 for helping him move the storage containers containing the bodies, and that they got into a fight. He admits to killing him now during the fight, which again is an attempt to justify his actions. Sean describes all of these murders extremely emotionless and in a matter-of-fact way. It is disturbing how casually he discusses all of these horrific crimes.
At some point my hand got sore, I hit him with a hammer. Blood was splattered. No one came around. I literally got out, cleaned the windows, put something over them, like flipped them to the drivers, from the drivers to the passenger. It's pretty fucking disgusting. Huge puddle underneath the truck.
His favorite word is pretty fucking disgusting. You know, that shit was disgusting. I did it though, but it was disgusting. Fucking disgusting. Visceral. Disgusting. Yeah, I hated it. But I think he liked it. The way he keeps saying it was disgusting, I think it kind of excited him a little bit.
Outside door.
There's no way you're going to kill your wife, then you're going to kill her boyfriend, then you're going to kill this other guy, then you're going to kill this other guy who's helping you. You have to have a problem. You have to have and started enjoying this by number 2. Number 2, you're like, oh, I could kind of do this. Seriously, there's no way.
Sean would go on to say that he had come back to New Jersey to kill Dabkowski, alleging the man had compromising photos of him from when he was a child. In court, however, Sean could offer no evidence of such activity or incriminating evidence.
He got that high risk on. He got that high risk jersey on. That shit is crazy. He threw his life away big time. But I think he was super ready for it. This is the type of guy who I think he was for sure, he was ready to throw it all away. He's like, fuck it, I'm 40-something. My wife hates me. I hate her. I hate her boyfriend. I'm just going to kill everybody. I'm literally just going to crash out.
Sean could offer no evidence of such activity or incriminating evidence, so it could very well be likely that he knew Dabkowski had coin collections and ready cash. It was just another killing, something that seemed to get easier each time the man turned his hands to murder.
No, there's no excuse for him. He's taking pleasure in it.
Sean's ready admission to the killings and the explanations would, without a doubt, be what the case would hang upon. While local police sought hard to find evidence at the scene of the killings in the house Sean and Jennifer had shared, there was little to nothing to be found. Sean had done a fairly thorough cleaning of the blood and gore, but after he vacated the premises, the landlord had brought in a crew to remodel. The foreman of that crew, who was staying at the house at that time, described coming into the house that had been thoroughly trashed. It was filthy with trash and human excrement, spoiled food, and some signs that perhaps the children had not just been abused, but chained to the walls of their room. By the time Sean had become a suspect in the disappearance, the remodeling effort was well underway, and any evidence had been inadvertently destroyed in the process.
Wow.
The murder weapon, a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson...
And a guy like that, for sure, that is the type of guy to lock the door and say, y'all be good in here now. Good. And just leave for 3 hours. Or for 4 hours. Oh, they hurt themselves this time? Let me chain them up. Just so they don't hurt themselves. Just so they don't hurt themselves. Y'all be good now. I'll be back in another 4 hours. That's the type of guy that's the type of time he's on.
Handgun was recovered, however. When Sean had ditched the bag at his old girlfriend's house, her current boyfriend had disposed of it by selling some of it to a man he met through a third party. While he could not identify the men, investigators were able to track them down and get the gun back. It still had traces of blood on it that connected it to the killings of Jennifer, Justin, and Matthew. Sean Lannon would plead guilty to all 5 killings. In New Jersey, he would be convicted in the...
5 people. Boyfriend, wife, the friend, the old man with the coin collection, and the guy who was helping him to move the containers.
The slaying of Michael Dabkowski. He would be given a sentence of 35 years. He would then stand trial for each of the killings.
35 years? He got 35 years?
In New Jersey, he would be convicted in the slaying of Michael Dabkowski. He would be given a sentence of 35 years.
Oh, that's one person.
He would then stand trial for each of the killings of Jennifer Lannon, Justin Matta, and Matthew Miller.
Forever.
Due to a plea deal, he would be found guilty of second-degree murder in each case and would be given a sentence of 15 years for each one. He will serve his sentence in New Mexico first, and should he somehow be paroled or serve out the entirety of his sentences, he would then be transferred to New Jersey to serve out his 35-year sentence there.
Forever.
While we know how Sean did his crimes, his explanations of why he killed so many people just somehow don't ring true. In court, no evidence was offered to support his claims that predatory advances had been made towards his children by his victims, or that he had actually been subjected to such advances as a child himself. He had had almost 2 months to
Look at that guy, man. That looks like a good, outstanding citizen of society. That seems like a guy you could get on a bus with by yourself. He seems like a nice guy. Share a cigarette with him. You know what I'm saying? Share a few giggles over social media. I don't know.
Concoct his stories and get his reasonings together. He also claimed to police that he had killed many more people involved in drug trafficking in that area of New Mexico. He claimed a potential 11 more victims, though none of those claims have ever been proven after investigation. In the end, it seems most likely that after killing his wife, Sean felt that he had to kill Jetson, who would be the first to miss her. And then, after he made that domino fall, Matthew was next. Each time, the horrors became easier for him to deal with.
See,
He'd used a hammer to finish off
I understand those two, but killing the other people is just kind of like overkill. Like, I get your reasoning behind that, but the other people, I feel like he was just enjoying that shit.
Matthew. And then, on a postulone in the man's truck, he used another hammer. When he finally made it to New Jersey and the home of Michael Dubkowski, he chose the hammer again as a tool for his grisly work. One kill led to another and another, each becoming easier for him. He found his way. He found the monster inside himself. It seemed like the monster was something he was willing to live with. He'll spend the rest of his life locked away and locked up with the monster he made of himself. The children of Sean and Jennifer.
Unless he lives to be 120 years old, did you ever think about that? Okay, don't count him out yet. He might live to 120. Listen, don't count him out.